Hi, my name is Kayla and Kitty Cat, and this is my brand new channel, and this will be the first thing I'll do. So what I'm gonna be doing is reading stuff like stories and stuff like that. So for the first thing that I'll be reading is a story that I wrote about. It's a Black Butler fanfic, and it's titled Tragedies and Trust, ReaderxSebastian. So shall we begin? Chapter 1. Kill him or she dies. Mother, the horses! You yelled as you realized both of the horses had stopped and began screeching with pain. Then they collapsed all of a sudden. You looked around you, nothing but trees in sight. It was your mother's birthday, and you wanted to take her out for a nice dinner. Since you and your mother lived far off from any nice places to eat, you had to drive a while. But you had insisted on taking a shortcut and got lost. You had no idea where you were. Dear, where are we going, anyway? You looked over to see your mother had gotten out of the carriage. She twitched her ears. She was half Nico and half human. You were part demon, Nico, and human. Your father, who was a demon, had left after your mother had become pregnant. So she was very precious to you. She was the only family you had. I wanted to take you somewhere nice for this lovely occasion, but I messed everything up. You sighed with disappointment in yourself. It's the thought that counts. You looked over at your mother, flustered. Come, blank, she smiled. You were confused by how calm she was, but she was always the calm type. She never worried. In fact, she was always happy, even in the darkest of times. You hopped out of the front of the carriage and went over to the horses, your mother trailing behind. You leaned down, examining them both. You didn't understand why this had happened. They're dead, you said, shocked. What happened to them, blank? Your mother asked, a bit of sadness in her tone. I don't know. You sighed and rubbed one of them on the head. Poor things, you thought to yourself. I guess we'll have to walk, whispered your mother. You nodded. You both began walking ahead, not knowing where on earth you were going. Despite the fact that you were lost and afraid you wouldn't be able to find your way, you were having fun with your mother. You were just happy to have her. You both continued to walk side by side. But then you heard a small yelp. You stopped and looked around you. Your mother was gone. You didn't even see her vanish. You became really scared, worrying if you'd find her or not. Mother! You screamed. No answer. A moment passed, but then you heard wrestling. You stood still, feeling strange. Suddenly, you felt someone grab your arm tightly. You were about to yell, but then a hand covered your mouth. You tried to speak, but couldn't. You tried to move, but you were being held tightly. But I'm part demon, you thought, wondering why you couldn't escape. If you ever want your mother back, you'd better cooperate. You were turned around, now face to face with a man in all black. He seemed to be wearing a black coat that covered most everything. He didn't make any details. The only thing you could see was that terrifying smirk on his lips. Deride. The man had placed a piece of cloth over your eyes. You couldn't see a thing. He had also tied your limbs together. You felt yourself being carried for a while. Then you felt yourself being placed inside something. Soon enough, you heard horses and felt yourself moving. Where am I going? Where's my mother? You asked yourself. You had so many questions, but you didn't ask them because you were afraid of what would happen to you and your mother if you did so. Soon enough, your ride was over. You were carried away somewhere you couldn't see. You were placed down on what seemed to be a chair. You felt yourself being tied up again, but this time to what you thought was a chair. Then your blindfold was ripped off, causing you to jump a bit. You looked at the man in the black coat. He grinned that evil grin. You looked at him disgusted. You were tired of sitting still. You ripped yourself free from the ropes. You were part demon after all. You hissed at the man who just chuckled. You charged towards the man, only to be caught in his grip. You tried to break free, but you weren't strong enough. You're quite strong, but you're only part demon. You cannot compare to me. you growled as you continued to try and break free. Now, you keep doing that, and your mother will die for sure. You stopped resisting. Then you were thrown to the floor. You winced. Now listen, and listen good, he grinned. You serve me, I'll set your mother free. Who knows, I might even decide to set you free as well. You hissed once more, then calmed down. What do I have to do? You said with defeat. You stood up slowly, then brushed yourself off. Years later. You were the man's servant for years. Your job was to kill people for him. There were others in this place as well, but they were all assigned with different jobs. You figured they were kidnapped too. You sighed as the man who you had to call master gave you a sheet of paper. Another master? You asked. He nodded with a grin. You were used to killing by now, and you were very skilled at it. You were never caught, probably because of your ability to turn into a black cat and flee. When you first started killing, you hated it, and you still do. But now you don't shed a tear while doing so like before. You knew it had to be done to save your mother. Although you had hoped for the man to release your mother sooner, he still promises to do so, so you still pray that he will. You looked at the piece of paper. It had an address and name on it, the Phantom Manor, Sebastian Michaelis. You read aloud. You put the paper away inside your purse, then began walking away to do what you were told to. Blank, this is a very important mission, different than any others. You turned back to face him, face showing no emotion at all. How so? You asked. If you can complete this, you'll get your mother back. You gasped. You realized how important it was to complete this mission. My bad. If this decided whether or not you'd get your mother back, it had to be a difficult task. But you also knew that this man wasn't always honest, although you knew you had to try for your mother. Go on, you said. You have to kill Sebastian Michaelis. He is unlike any others you've killed before. He is also a demon. You gasped, realizing how challenging this will be. How am I to kill him? Your master handed you a small green pocket knife. He can only be killed with this or a demon's sword. You're going to have to gain his manor's trust, instead of just attacking him, taken by surprise. So this mission will take time? You asked. Yes, maybe even months. You slipped the knife inside your purse, then turned around. Well, I better be off then, you said as you began walking away. You heard his evil laugh. Kill him or she dies. You cringed. You finally made it outside. You looked at the piece of paper once more. Phantom Manor. You whispered to yourself. Then you began running. You were really fast, but not as fast as a full-blooded demon. Okay, so that's it for Chapter 1. Thank you for watching my first video. I'm sorry for any mistakes in this chapter. I didn't go back and fix them. I will probably do a Chapter 2 if people like this. So anyway, bye!